piece of information from a convention that's going to be coming up in June. With the absence of BotCon, and there is no HasCon this year either. That will be next year. Some of the organizers that worked on the original BotCons from Fun Publication, specifically Pete Sinclair, his convention, Pete's Robot Convention, aka Robocon, will be coming up in June. And I'm pretty much talking about this because after April Fool's, he did a little thing, April Fool's thing on his Twitter and various Transformer groups, showing that he was going to have exclusives that were that were very interesting to say the least.
Well, what came first? Was it the images, the poster, or was it these figures?
It kind of all got dropped at once.
Oh, wow! Okay.
I know that there was the art. Well, we're going to post it anyways in the thumbnail of the segment, but there was a whole bunch of art, and then there was also the actual characters that were shown, and there were a whole bunch of mixtures of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic based stuff, which was their mini series, and their actual horse series, which is they have like 2 different scales of My Little Pony toys. Then a mix of G.I. Joe stuff that they have with some Transformer stuff. And all based off of very weird properties and everything, and weird homages to different things here and there.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be that was that. That was the original. Oh, it's April Fool's, done and done. They announced today that what they're going to do at Pete's Robot Convention is they're going to be raffling all of these. Apparently these weren't just like CG mock-ups. These were legitimate things that were hand painted specifically for this. So you're going to be able to, if you go to Pete's Robot Convention, to pretty much put, I think you get 2 raffle tickets. If you do the pre-reg, you get 2 raffle tickets put in for this. So you'll be able to get the whole crew essentially, and I'll just go through some of them here. So let's see. It was called the Alter Egos. And first you had Soundwave and his Littlest Cassette Shop, which used Littlest Pet Shop animals, and it looks like a Masterpiece Soundwave. I could be wrong. It's hard to tell, but it's like a Masterpiece Soundwave done in like his more purpley colors that were in the Marvel comics.
Okay.
Then you got Gem here, which is clearly using the Marissa Fairborn G.I. Joe mold. With a transforming vehicle, which is done in a very Mask style, because the Gem logo is done like Mask. Then you have, this is Snarl from Cybertron, also known as Fangwolf from Galaxy Force, repainted to look like one of the Visionary characters. And then you have Globulus from G.I. Joe, with a General Falco, but it's like an actual falcon. It's over-the-top crazy stuff, essentially. And so every single one of these are going to be available for raffle. And then they announced today the final one, which was the most interesting one, the one that I actually wouldn't mind getting if it existed, was, and it has nothing, they did a My Little Pony repaint from their My Little Pony Minis line, but it's Maroness instead of Baroness. So, and it looks like they're using, and again, people are going to be like, Protoman, how do you know the names of these? I had to sell this pony stuff, so I had to learn the names of this stuff. This is Verarity, I think her name was, from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. They took the Verarity mold and they painted it up as Baroness with shades and everything, and she comes with a little cat. Which is supposed to be her robot pet Ravage, which is kind of an extra nod to the G.I. Joe versus Transformers comic books, because Baroness had Ravage on a leash. And so it's kind of an extra nod that, oh yeah, Baroness and Ravage actually have that connection from the G.I. Joe versus Transformers. This is super over-the-top stuff. And
I'm surprised it's there in physical form.
Yeah, well, that's why, because a lot of times when you have a lot of these, I mean, especially, like, again, when I worked with BotCon, everything we did was CG mock-ups. And then we would finally get to see actually how it looked afterwards a while later. This is all stuff that when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, it's just the CG mock-up stuff we're so used to doing. Because it's the same crew of guys. It's Jesse Witherich, it's Pete Sinclair. Lo and behold, all of this stuff physically exists, so I'm very impressed by that. Hey, Pete, if you're listening, if I could get that Baroness, we could work something out. No. Anyways, it's really, really cool stuff. I really dig it. So if you go to Pete's Robot Convention, let me just pull up all the information here. It's going to be, by the way, it's going to be at Cincinnati. For people that who went to BotCon in 2008, it's not the same location. At BotCon 2008, it was done at the Duke Energy Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. This time around, it's going to be on River Central Boulevard, which is like 11 minutes away from the original location. So it's essentially because you have the Ohio River. You just drive 11 minutes over the Ohio River, and you're right there. So it's very close to the old BotCon location in 2008. So if you're familiar with that old one, and I liked the BotCon 2008 location. It was near downtown Ohio and stuff, so you get a lot of good food and everything. So it's very close to it. And
Ohio's the state. You mean the
excuse me. Well, because Ohio River. That's why I'm getting that mixed up. Because you got to cross the Ohio River this time. And it's only 11 minutes away from the old location. But yeah, so the pre-reg is, let me just pull it up here. The pre-reg for the Robocon or Pete's Robot Convention is $70. What that gives you is it gives you the Saturday afternoon meet and greet at Molly Malone's, which I think is a restaurant, where there's appetizers and a cash bar and everything. So hey, $70 gets you some food too. You also have the Saturday evening preview event. What that is, I don't know yet. We'll find out. You get an exclusive convention t-shirt, which you then pre-reg. You be sure to give your size. You get an exclusive convention trading pin, early access to the exhibitor room on the Sunday. The Sunday is the bulk of the convention. 2 raffle tickets, which go towards the stuff that we just mentioned, your badge and your lanyard. And also, as an extra bonus to the convention too, if ones are interested, on the Saturdays between the hours of 8 a.m. to 12 and then 12 a.m. to 4, you won't be missing anything essentially if you take this also, because it's done during the early hours of the Saturday, will be the custom class. In the custom class, you have the choices of Shattered Glass Swoop, using the current swoop mold that's being used for Power of the Primes, or alternatively a Pretender Shell. It's $65 extra on your ticket price for the custom class to get an exclusive figure. Those are still available. So if you want to add to that too. So hey, Pete's Robot Convention, which is going to be in the date of, let me pull it up again. Got so much information here.
While you're pulling up the information, I want to ask, did you point out that the Baroness has a super soaker?
Oh, that I did not notice.
Oh, you didn't catch that was a super soaker she has?
So that's some Laramie stuff right there.
So it's like my equestrian hero alter egos. But
there you go.
Alter ego, excuse me. But yeah, it's definitely a super soaker.
Yeah.
She has in her hand there.
And so Pete's Robot Convention, June 9th and the 10th, 2018 in Cincinnati, Ohio.